Life happens to be an act of deconstruction. True evolution, true discovery is you unraveling yourself like a kind of a Houdini from the webs of lies that have been put around you in your mind. When a man climbs a mountain, a very strange thing happens. As he climbs, it gets harder. Now, say you've never climbed a mountain before and you don't know anything about it. As you start climbing this mountain, and given that you have a pack on your back, which is called life, as you start to climb, you start to discover it's getting harder and harder as the further you go up. It's getting harder, steeper, so it's all harder on your body. And it's also, the air is getting thinner, so it's even hard on your lungs. So it gets more difficult. Plus it's getting colder, and it might even be getting darker. And it's getting lonelier. So as you climb and climb and climb, but one thing the gods are showing you, your vision of the landscape is getting broader. Even though the task is harder, your vision of the panoply that's laid out in front of you, ergo the landscape, the view is much better the higher you go. So something, now remember there's two types of people. There's people who focus on this as a bugger, I'm out of here, and they go back. And when you're down at the bottom of the mountain, you walk on flat ground, and it's very relaxing and easy, but how much vision do you have of the world in which you live? You can't see past the next house. Then you get the other character, who realizes this is agony. But wow, look at the view. I gotta continue because I'm seeing more and I'm going higher up and higher up and higher up. Until you get to the peak. And at that point you have ecstasy. Because at a peak, what happens? You see the road down ahead, or the road on the other side of the mountain, and you also see the past. It is imperative to have that vista that I talk about the mountain climber. If you're happy down in the valley walking on a horizontal plane, well, shit, past doesn't matter, future don't matter, there you are. But if you're a person who's vertical, if you're climbing the mountain, if you are seeking the truth in whatever way, truth of yourself ultimately, because you are the Arya. Every person is potentially that Arya. That person halfway up the mountain gets involved in all these, disputes about whether the black should get it or the white should get it, or the Chinese should get it, or the pygmy should get it, or the guy who's 6 foot tall should get it, or we have all of these debates and matriculations. Every human being is worthy of that knowledge, is to receive it, if in fact they can arrive at that place. But when you climb up the mountain and you start to see this panoply, I believe that you have an immediate passion to do something about it. Well, you're climbing the mountain, you're getting a larger and larger perspective, but it is hard, and they'll complain, man, it's lonely, it's hard, I'm bruised knees, But see, those are people who are exhilarated by the fact that they're seeing a greater and greater landscape, and that is exhilarating. Just in the same way as you're climbing a physical mountain, you don't go back because there's no going back. And when you finally get to the top, you see you have a vision of all of it. Your territory is pretty small what you're standing on, but look at what you see. You have a rare and unique vision of the whole of life and the whole of the meaning of life. And the most important thing is when you arrive at the peak is you have not asked somebody else to bring you the mountain. But see, for psychological and spiritual reasons, there's no two people on that path. There's no room for the guru. You are the pharaoh, you are the priest, you are the sorcerer, you are the magician, you are the shaman, you are the teacher. You're the one who has to walk that path.